Ooh, 646 illegal aliens arrested. That is a huge operation right there. That's a lot. So that is 646 people crowding, for one, crowding up the Houston streets, the highways, and things like that. They're all gone. So traffic may get a little bit lighter in Houston. Huge ICE arrest down in Houston as over 600 illegals are arrested. Let's check it out.
A major operation by immigration agents netted more than 600 arrests in the Houston area.
Now, ICE gave Fox News an exclusive look at how these captures all went down. Fox's Brooke Taylor reports.
For weeks, we've been reporting on these ICE arrests, but 646 in a single city just in 1 week is by far the largest operation we have seen yet. Out of the illegal migrants arrested, 543 had criminal records. According to ICE, they were either charged or convicted of crimes ranging from human smuggling and DWI to child sex crimes. This massive operation taking place between February 23rd and March 2nd. Here's a breakdown of some of the criminal backgrounds of those arrested. According to ICE, 140 illegal migrants were charged or convicted of an aggravated felony like homicide, aggravated assault, or domestic violence. 34 were charged or convicted of a sex offense or child sex offense. Last month, Fox News got an exclusive look at the day-to-day ICE operations in Houston. I embedded with this same team of special agents and watched as they carefully conducted surveillance of each of their targets. The director of the field office said they had thousands of illegal migrants on their target list, and that is just in the Houston area. And this latest operation was a multi-agency takedown. So you have federal, state, and local partners all working together. And I could tell you just from being out with those agents myself, that's something they emphasize now more than ever. They're able to work together with this unified mission to go after criminal illegal migrants. And that, they say, has helped ramp up the arrest numbers in.
Goodness gracious, 646 is a big operation, so I'm so glad it's happened. That just made the state of Texas that much safer. I don't know how many of these people were already in holding cells, in jails, or whatever, but regardless, this was big, and a lot of these guys need to be off of the streets. There is an article I want to read for you to break this down a little bit. So we will get into that. This is the article right here that breaks this down. ICE arrests 543 criminal aliens, 7 gang members in Houston area during week-long multi-agency operation. All right. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, in conjunction with federal, state, and local law enforcement, arrested 646 undocumented aliens, including 543 aliens and 7 criminal aliens, and 7 documented gang members during a week-long targeted enforcement operation conducted between February 23rd and March 2nd in the Houston area to bolster public safety, national security, and border security. Fantastic. Let's keep going here. During the operation, ICE and its partners executed 71 criminal arrest warrants and arrested 543 undocumented aliens who have been charged or convicted of a criminal offense while they were illegally present in the U.S., including, this breaks down some of the offenses here of these scumbags. 140 criminal aliens charged or convicted of aggravated felony or other violent offense such as homicide, aggravated assault, or domestic violence. And the list keeps going. 38 criminal aliens convicted of illegal firearm offenses such as unlawful carrying of a firearm, alien in possession of a firearm, and aggravated assault with the firearm. My goodness. How long were these people just hanging around in our state? Man. Alright, let's go to the next bullet point here. 52 criminal aliens charged or convicted of illicit narcotics offenses such as drug trafficking or possession of a controlled substance. I did a story recently on 344 pounds of meth, a meth bust in Colony Ridge. So they're making big busts here in Texas. We'll get into that in some future videos, but I just wanted to highlight that real quick, that they are taking care of the worst people with these horrible drugs in our communities, that could kill people. and bring all kinds of criminal activity. So Houston just got a lot safer thanks to this big bust. And I want to shout out to the guys out there in law enforcement, the guys and women in law enforcement, ICE, whoever else, DEA, whoever else is involved with this. Thank you very much. And this is a big operation. So I want to keep highlighting some of these criminals here. All right, 51. Oops, got ahead of myself. 51 criminal aliens charged or convicted of property crimes such as burglary or theft, wreaking havoc on their communities. So this is big news here. Yeah, so let's keep going. "93 criminal aliens charged or convicted of driving while intoxicated." That is another big problem because you have a lot of drunk drivers out there, and it's another story. I've done so many of these stories. It's not even fun to have a whole catalog full of. They have like greatest hits of illegal aliens committing crimes in our
In
community.
recent years, some of the world's most dangerous fugitives, transnational gang members, and criminal aliens have taken advantage of the crisis at our nation's southern border to illegally enter the U.S., said ICE Enforcement and Removal Operations Houston Field Officer Director Brett Bradford. After illegally entering the country, many of these criminal aliens have gone on to commit violent crime and rain terror on law-abiding residents, fueled by our unwavering commitment to protect the public from harm and united in our determination to restore integrity to our nation's system of laws. ICE and our law enforcement partners in Southeast Texas have banded together to remove these dangerous criminal aliens from our local communities and put an end to the lawlessness that they...
In just 1 week, working alongside our counterparts from federal, state, and local law enforcement, ICE, HSI special agents successfully executed 71 criminal arrest warrants and made 554 administrative arrests that included illegally present human smugglers, gang members, human traffickers, child offenders, drug traffickers, and weapons traffickers, said ICE Homeland Security Investigation Houston Special Agent in charge, Chad Plants. These collective efforts have made our local communities significantly safer and strengthen our national security and border security. As a result, we've sent a resounding message to transnational criminal organizations everywhere that the law enforcement community in the Texas Gulf Coast is more united than ever and will not rest until we've eradicated these criminal elements from the country. Fantastic. I love to hear it. I love to hear it when when law enforcement sends a strong message that we're not going to put up with this nonsense. So again, I want to see more stories like this. I want to see bigger busts. You know, there was a lot of criticism with Colony Ridge. Oh, they only got 118 out of 70,000 illegals there. Look, it's not going to be overnight. Tom Holman said this is only the first part of a bigger operation, and that may have been included in that operation. So 118, that's 118 people off the streets, 646 people out of the community in the Houston area. On top of that, that's just the beginning. So they're targeting much more, and that is where the work begins. You get these low-hanging fruit off of the streets, the criminals, the gangbangers, the drug dealers, all those people. Get rid of them first, and then we will see the crime rates go down here in America. I'm so thankful for that. To me, that is a bigger issue than the economy. And
I believe it does start with immigration. If we don't have safe borders, then we're not a safe country, and we cannot be fruitful and produce good fruit. No, we will always be outsourcing. So I concur.
Exactly. This was all by design. They don't care. I don't think Joe Biden honestly cared about the safety of the American people, because if they did, if Alejandro Mayorkas, the bald-headed rascal.
I mean, how does he even get that name? Go ahead.
I don't know. If he actually cared about the safety of the American people, he would have locked his border down And Joe Biden would have done the same thing that Trump did when he got back in office, signed those executive orders. He would have never undone all the things that Trump put in. He would have never unwound those things. So he would have kept those in place and say, you know what, I'm going to keep these Trump border policies going. U.S. Customs and Border Protection, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, the FBI, Drug Enforcement Administration, the Texas Department of Public Safety, shout out to those guys, the Diplomatic Security Service, the U.S. Marshal Service, and several other state and local law enforcement agencies participated in the operation. This was massive. Very good. I'm so proud of these guys. I'm so proud of the men and women putting that uniform on and getting to work and keeping our community safe. So again, I can't thank you enough. Law enforcement do such a great, fantastic job. You don't get enough credit because you have one side of the aisle consistently vilifying you and spitting on your name because you're doing your job. You're doing what you were hired to do. And this is, like I said, this is a bipartisan issue because Democrats want to be safe. I don't care what, if you're in the middle, left, middle, right, you want to be safe. You want to have a safe community. You want to go home to a safe, drive down a safe street. You want to have your kids playing in a safe neighborhood. You want to have a safe community. Businesses want to thrive. So to me, it starts with law enforcement. It starts with law and order and putting these people behind bars, deporting them back to where they came from, because you can't have a thriving economy, thriving local businesses, a thriving community if you don't have safe streets. So to me, it begins with law and order. So thank goodness for this big operation. I want to see more of these across the country. And every time I see something like this happening in my state, I'm like, okay, Texas just got that much safer. Now, I'm curious to see what happens with the crime rate in the next year or so. If we're going to see less reports of violent crimes, of drunk drivers hitting people, horrible things happening with children, I wonder if we're going to start seeing that come down. I know a lot of this stuff doesn't get reported, but I really hope that we do see in due time, in a year, maybe 2 years, if we really start to see things going down and less reports of these heinous crimes. We don't want to see another Lakeland rally. We don't want to see another Jocelyn Nungery. We don't want to see that happen ever again. So thank you, law enforcement. You did a great job. Keep up the great work. And I know there's a lot more things to do, but you're off to a good start. And so I'm going to leave that right there. Just want to give you an update on what's going on in Texas and the border and enforcement, the interior enforcement side of things. We'll have more videos. The border is big with this channel, so I will have more updates coming for you in the coming days. Thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Take care.